Howard Lutnick passing the torch to a new generation after his confirmation as Commerce Secretary. Lutnick named his two eldest sons and 3 company deputies to run the core of Cantor Fitzgerald's businesses. Brandon, who is 27, is now CEO and chairman, while DJ Kyle Lutnick is executive vice chairman of the parent companies. For more, we are joined by Bloomberg's Max Abelson. Howard himself took over when he was not even 30.
Yeah.
This is kind of in keeping with the Lutnick family. Plus, Brandon's kind of been around a long time. Are they prepared to take over what Cantor has become?
I like that you remember that Howard Lutnick himself was, I think, 29 around 1991 when he landed the top spot. And you know what? There's actually an even richer history. I mean, on Wall Street, going back to the 19th century, maybe into the early 20th century, these investment banks did sort of pass often from father to son, from generation to generation. It's just that I would say over sort of since Wall Street's kind of been professionalized, and maybe call it the last few decades, you know, Wall Street talks a big game about things like meritocracy, and succession planning is something that I think you and I have reported stories on about. Succession planning is this huge deal. We don't often see these sort of new financial empires, these new dynasties forming, and I think that's a fair phrase to use for this. There isn't a long track record for Kyle and Brandon because they are literally in their 20s, but I think it's going to be fun to see what they do, to watch. They are essentially going to be in charge of some pretty interesting companies over the next few years.
It'll be fascinating to watch, and Brandon, I guess, is the younger one, but he is somehow closer in business to his father, whereas Kyle at Stanford got into like the hip-hop DJ scene.
That's
and he
right.
has a single out. I saw the cover. Here it is. California Roll.
California Roll. I listened to that song many times during the reporting of this story.
And?
You know, I enjoyed it. Let me just say, I think that it's one of the embarrassing realities of my professional life that I've actually never seen Succession in its entirety.
What?
I know my wife did show me some of the episodes of the most recent season, the last season, but I'm assuming that Succession is all about a father passing control of a company to sons who then compete.
Max, it's so much more. There's a daughter involved. The writing is top notch. You have to watch Succession.
Okay, I will watch it. Though I've enjoyed what I've seen, to be fair. All right,
okay.
But to talk about Kyle and Brandon, yes, Kyle, who's the older one, is going to be executive vice chairman. Brandon, who's I think just about a year younger, will be chairman. And I want to give a shout out to my co-writer here, Todd. Todd Gillespie found during the reporting of this story, it's not just a matter of Brandon Lutnick becoming chairman. He's also going to be CEO. I mean, these aren't these aren't nothing words that are being thrown around.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to be the chief executive officer of the Cantor Fitzgerald, the parent company, Cantor Fitzgerald, which also includes a lot of stuff. My old beat is real estate reporting. There's a lot of real estate here, which actually I just want to quickly say, it strikes me that in New York City, real estate is often, I think, a little bit more of a family business, even to this day.
I agree with that.
And it's true that the Cantor empire does kind of have a flavor of real estate, sort of something I was thinking about this morning.
We only have about a minute left, but following up on that, I mean, you mentioned how Nepo babies, they're kind of not an extinct breed on Wall Street, but it's definitely become more rare. And with that in mind, I mean, what has the reception been like?
Well, first of all, I did not use the phrase Nepo babies.
I know, but I did.
To be fair. You know, I think that it's important to mention that there are like these real Wall Street veterans, people like Christian Wall, and there are 2 others as well, who are going to be the co-CEOs running the businesses. On Wall Street, it's actually a lifelong question that I've had. Like, what does a chairman do? What does an executive vice chairman do? I think that in some companies, they are really important and wield a lot of influence. And that could happen here. It's also fair to surmise that in some companies, it's probably less crucial than a CEO or a co-CEO. So I guess we're going to watch and we're going to find out.
To your point, it's Pascal Bandalier, it's Christian Wall, it is also, of course, Sage Kelly, a long-time folks on Wall Street here that are leading alongside the under 30s.
Yeah, and first of all, Nepo baby, I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but if we're talking about dynasties, it's a term that's been socialized in popular culture.
It's been used in the pejorative, I would say, in popular culture.
There's a lot of Nepo babies that I really
Kyle,
like.
I guess, interned for Scooter Braun, I found out by reading Max and Todd's story.
Yeah.
How do we feel about Scooter Braun as Taylor Swift fans?
He's a controversial figure, I would say, but I'm not going to pass judgment on the man on my television.